Okay, good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Sean Callan.
Here.
Julie Chetney is not here. Tom Chiappa.
Here.
David Christofoli.
Here.
Jim McKenzie's here. Kristen Norfleet.
Here.
Sean Onmock is not here. And Amanda Connell.
Here.
Thank you. If we could stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to ask if we can all stay standing for a moment, please. Over the weekend, our community suffered a horrible loss with the tragic passing of John Rodriguez Fuentes. So if we can join in a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Okay, the first item on tonight's agenda is to appoint a district clerk pro tem. So if I can have a motion, please, to approve Mr. Colucci as our pro tem for this meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, David. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kristen. You were louder. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. First, we have, next is floor to the public. We do have two speakers, so I'll please read. Each speaker who signed up is permitted 3 minutes for their comments. Speaker may not yield the remaining time to others. All comments must be directed to the board president. The board will listen to comments and input, but will not necessarily debate or discuss items. Operational matters will be directed to the school administration for handling. The board is not permitted to address personnel or individual student matters in open session. The board will limit repetitive comments to give time to others wishing to speak, as well as to maintain meeting efficiency. The board president has the authority to end a speaker's comments or to close public comment as appropriate. Any additional written correspondence or letters may be directed to the board clerk for distribution to the board. The board expects proper decorum at all times, and all speakers should state their full name and address. So first we have Francine Latino, please.
I'm a little short. I don't know if that's, but I think you can hear me. I'm loud enough anyway. Okay. Thank you very much. Good evening. I am Francine Latino, owner and director of the First Step Universal Pre-K Agency, which has been honored and pleased to provide high-quality UPK services, educational services for 20 years to the Oswego City School District with proven results from assessments which are submitted to the end of the year state report. My staff and I are dedicated and motivated to continue to provide these services to the Oswego community. We have continued to improve and grow over the years, following all current New York State standards and curriculums, including next generation reading standards and writing standards for the ELA P through 3. We also address students with disabilities and multilingual language. The First Step Agency is solely a universal pre-K agency and has been dedicated to this cause since 1998. Many of my former staff members have been hired by the Oswego City School District or other districts in the county. However, many of my staff members have remained with First Step for many years and very pleased and motivated to teach pre-K. These teachers create a nurturing, creative, and fun, welcoming environment which encourages a positive self-image, respect for others, and joy of learning. My staff is very dedicated and ambitious and enjoy parent involvement throughout the year. This year, they enjoyed creating a pre-K prom for the universal pre-K students and parents and guardians in the Oswego District and presented at Riley School. The theme was Under the Sea, with marvelous decorations, students' artwork, a wonderful DJ for children, photo booth for family photos, and delicious refreshments. The families had a wonderful time dancing and enjoying each other's company and creating family memories. They all expressed their appreciation for such a good time. We would love to have the opportunity to do so next year If so, you're all invited. Now, June is almost here, and it is time again for children and parents to get together on Moving Up Day. Parents enjoy the entertainment that the children put on. Each year, we send home anonymous surveys to parents and guardians to evaluate the program and see where we might improve. This year, these surveys were submitted to Dr. Kilmer. However, I would like to submit to the board at this present time a few of these surveys along with the parent letters if this is permissible. Would you like to receive them?
Yep, you can give them to Mr. Colucci at some point. Or you can, that's fine.
Oh, right here.
No,
Nancy.
no, she's fine.
She doesn't
We're good.
have to be
We're good.
I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to you this evening about the First Step Agency and how we would love to continue to offer these high-quality educational services to the Oswego City School District. My staff is here tonight to support me and the program.
Ma'am, do you have a lot left? So the 3-minute allotment was up actually when you handed this to me.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, the 3-minute allotment was up kind of when you handed this to me. Do you have much left?
Do you have much left?
Are you finished?
She doesn't have her.
You're good. Are you all done?
I'm all done, yes.
Okay, thank you very much, appreciate you. Okay, Mariah Mosier. Thank you.
Hello. Hi, I'm Mariah. I am actually a parent of a universal pre-K who he has started this year. I also had the opportunity to meet with Dr. Kilmer today, and I think our conversation was wonderful. He was very supportive to both my husband and I about the program, and further on to always make sure that our children's education will be handled, correctly and under the best education we can get. However, I am just up here today to speak on behalf of two of the teachers that are currently at my son's school. He goes to Minetto. Just how much of a incredible year he's had this year, everything they have done for him. The program itself has been amazing and wonderful. I do look forward to next year. My son will be also as well attending the Minetto Universal Pre-K program. And with that being said, the reasoning I'm here is to just ensure that our teachers are, have a place there still because they have had such a huge impact on my son, as well as the other teachers through the program. And I just want the best going forward as a parent, as any other parent. And yeah, that's it really. I did have a great conversation with you today. We were very appreciative of it, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, floor to the public. Next, we have our acknowledgements with Kristen.
Okay, so it is time for our tour around the district. Let's start with district-wide. On May 15th, student athletes and student helpers attended the annual Oswego County Olympiad. Athletes and helpers had a fantastic day competing in track and field events, throwing events, and a mascot race. Side note, what's not pictured here, but if you have social media and saw it, there were some awesome videos with mascots from all over the county who were getting ready for this that were super fun, and kudos to whoever put those together and also to representatives from all the districts for sending their mascots to do it. It was a great lead up, I thought, to the event. That's just my little side note. Next, we're going to move to the high school. To help support students during Mental Health Awareness Month, the OHS Library and the Z Club collaborated to create and distribute 150 mental health wellness kits. These kits include stickers with positive messages, mini painting canvases, info about mental health services, and more. And for anyone who doesn't know what the Z Club is, that is a student version of Zonta. Also still at the high school, we just came off prom weekend. On Saturday, May 17th, the class of 2026 hosted their prom at Bayshore Grove. The theme this year was Enchanted Evening. Next, we're going to move to Frederick Layton. There was a career fair at Layton. The community partners and local agencies volunteered their time to meet, interact, and share career information and opportunities with 4th through 6th graders. Then at Fitzhugh Park, Mr. Rapre and Ms. Jorgensen and our FPS band and chorus put on an excellent spring concert. We're looking forward to our spring orchestra concert on May 21st at 7 p.m. in the OHS auditorium. At Charles E. Riley, there was a royal celebration. Ms. Barber's and Ms. Anzalone's class hosted a charming Kings and Queens tea party, pinkies up in true royal style, as a grand finale to their CKLA unit. Growing together, staff members selected plants and seeds to begin in their classrooms, soon to bloom in our kid garden coming soon. Moving on to the middle school, students earned tickets during the month of May to win Stanley Cups donated by our home and school team. Students were very excited for the opportunity and worked hard to earn those tickets. Pictured are the winners. Students from OMS also traveled to BOCES for Law Enforcement Day. And that is our tour around the district.
Thank you, Kristen. Superintendent's report, Dr. Kilmer.
Just a couple of items. Last week, I sent out a summary document to both staff, but then also the community as well, regarding New York State's new law on bell-to-bell bans of internet-enabled devices, so personal internet-enabled devices. So it doesn't apply to Chromebooks, but iWatch is wearable. Any phone that is a smartphone. Oddly enough, in the legislation, it comes right out and says if you have a flip phone, those are fine. Maybe flip phones will come back. But what the legislation states is very clearly is that districts must have a new policy, and we must have it on our website by August 1st. And then by the start of the school year, we must enact this new policy district-wide. And so really what it comes down to is students may not have access to any internet-enabled device during the school day. So bell begins at the beginning of the day, must be away. It's got to be away throughout the entire day and cannot come back out until the end of the day. There are some stipulations that do allow the use for instructional purposes approved by a teacher. So we're going to need to come together. I do want student input, staff input, and community input as to what we feel is going to be the best way for us to design a policy that meets the requirements of the law, but also meets the unique needs of the Oswego City School District. And so there's lots of options, whether it's students have to store them in lockers. We could purchase Yonder pouches. They're a little on the expensive side, so I don't know that that's the best course of action. We have to make sure in the policy we have a secure place where students could store them, but there's nothing in the legislation immediately that says that they have to be stored off their person. And so there's a lot of conversation that needs to be had. There's a lot of districts who are going through this, who are, again, have concerns about what is this gonna look like come September, but we're gonna be talking a lot more about that. We'll start some of those conversations in June and July to make sure that we can meet that August 1st deadline. Lots of communications will be coming out to families and staff in the near future, along with students. Just a reminder about end of school year schedule. We are very, very close to Regents examinations. So this year in particular is a little different at the high school. June 10th and 11th, we're actually closed at the high school for 2 new Regents exams, actually 3 new Regents exams, life science, earth and space science, formerly known as earth science. And then geometry. Those are all new exams that have to be given earlier than typical. And then the true examination week begins the week of June 16th. So students will come to school on Monday the 16th And then the rest of that time, those last 2 weeks, will be Regents exams. We did have a number of extra snow days this year. So originally, June 27th, that's Friday, was a non-student day. That is now a student day, but it's a half day. So for middle school and elementary students, their last day at school will be the 27th, but that will be a half day. So elementary and middle school students will have Wednesday the 25th, Thursday the 26th, and Friday the 27th as half-day instructional days to end our school year. And I do want to give a shout out to Chris Byrne, Superintendent of Schools at Phoenix Central School District, for hosting the Oswego Olympiad. They've done it the last couple of years. I've had the chance to go the last couple of years. It is an incredible event. Hundreds and hundreds of kids, hundreds of volunteers. It really is such an incredible day for our students in our community. If you ever get a chance to actually attend that, I highly recommend it. It's impossible to find parking. It's an absolute madhouse over there, but man, is it worth every moment. And lastly, I want to acknowledge the Oswego High School staff. They have been incredible over these last few days in supporting our students and our families, and so grateful to work with such dedicated staff here at Oswego City.
Thank you, Dr. Kilmer. Next, we have our committee discussions, facilities. Sean?
Yeah, I have a few updates. Development and design of the 2024 capital improvement project, that's a $46.5 million project, is ongoing. Some primary focus is on the OHS Technology Suite, our OHS Media Center, OMS Office Suite, and preliminary work on some of our high school gymnasium spaces that need rework. And we're looking to expedite the review of Phase 1, which has been approved and ready for bid. So bids on that, Phase 1 for that project will be opening soon. So that's moving right along. APC work is moving forward and gaining momentum. Lighting, I think Julie mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but it's definitely noticeable in some of our schools. So lighting upgrades in Fitchu and the Education Center are almost complete. We'll move on to OMS and OHS in the next couple weeks, so we'll be able to see those differences there. Boilers, we've ordered those, and they're scheduled for delivery the middle of next month. And also, we have some pool cover work being done at both OHS and OMS, so they'll be ready for installation late June, early July. So we'll have those ready to go. The SBBA security camera project, this obviously touches on a big thing surrounding safety at our buildings and campuses. That's moving along. Progress has been swift, and improvements in all of that initiative are very noticeable. Cap 2024-2025 capital outlay project for $100,000. The continuing work on that, and you'll remember that we decided to maintain some focus on Riley entrances to secure some of the doors that were very much compromised at that building. And hopefully, if we have some funding left, we're looking to address the flagpole over at that building as well. Emergency elevator projects. This was, this came up, and lead time, you can't control the lead time of things, and also when work can be done at our buildings. So this is really good news that at Fitchu and Kingsford, we'll be scheduled to start the total replacement of those elevators at the very end of the school year, with that work being done over the summer months and ready for students and staff when we come back to school in the fall. So yeah, that's the update today.
That's great, Sean. The revitalization is necessary, and glad that the Facilities Committee is putting so much work into working with our architects and Dr. Kilmer on that, so thank you.
There's a lot of moving pieces, so when we sit in our meetings and you're talking about doing work, as I mentioned, like on Utica Street, when you talk about the technology, there's a parking lot over there, and so where does that parking go? Where do you stage everything? And it's great that we have a lot of projects going on, but it's not just easy, and they don't just happen, especially from a space constraint standpoint. And everybody needs to remember that we try to do all of this type of work with minimal interruption to instruction and what we have going on in our buildings throughout the school year. So it is quite the balancing act, but that's why we get together every 2 weeks. And yeah, Dr. Kilmer, Mr. Colucci, and our architects put a lot of, and our building administrators in their input. This really is a collective effort to keep this moving forward.
Great, thank you, Sean. Visitation Committee, Tom?
Yes, I'm sitting in for Julie tonight. I'm going to let her take care. We had 2 visitations, one to the high school 2 weeks ago, and then this past week over to the warehouse. So she'll take care of the high school, 'cause she was there, but she didn't make it to the warehouse. Jim and I had seen it. A lot of the things you're talking about, Sean, happened there as well. The EPC lighting is starting to take place. It's working, it looks better. It's easier to work in a more pleasant environment. New freezer, and the freezer is working well, which is great. And then we have an item on the agenda tonight that deals with food service as well. So all in all, it's coming together. Let's see, the new forklift that we leased as opposed to buying, that's in there. We have a powered pallet truck they're utilizing as well. So it just looks more streamlined and like it's working more efficiently as well. The only thing that we still have on the horizon that we'll have to do with facilities at some point is the asphalt and entrance area reworking over time. We'll just have to put those in there, but it was great to go through there and see it just moving forward, steadily moving forward. So.
Yeah, and just if I could touch on that, because it was in our recent meetings, again, to interrupt up at the middle school and go into the bus garage and everything, it's like there's a very finite time when you can do that, because how do we reroute all that traffic? Also, while we really tried to get that addressed this summer, the asphalt companies, and when they're making the asphalt and pretty much their schedule for these summer months when they can lay that down, they're all booked. So we might have to, it looks as though we'll have to schedule or settle for some patchwork and just get ready for next year and plan, how we can get that done when everybody's kind of enjoying summertime. So, but absolutely is not unrecognized that's in pretty bad shape up there, so.
Okay, thank you. That's it from our committee discussion. So next on the agenda is the consent agenda. And as we usually do, I'd like to group items A through I on the consent agenda, please. If I can have a motion.
I'll move.
Thank you, Kristen. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. Any discussion on consent agenda items A through I? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have personnel. I'm going to take the first set, which are professional staff recommendations. So these would be items A through D. If I can have a motion for A through D, please.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Tom. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, David. Any discussion on our professional staff recommendations, items A through D? Okay, having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is anybody opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have support staff recommendations. These are items E through H. So if I can have a motion, please?
I'll move it.
Thank you, Sean. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kristen. Any discussion on personnel items E through H? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. And then the remainder of them are substitute temporary employees and extra compensatory recommendations. So these would be items I through M. If I can have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Tom. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kristen. So any discussion on personnel items I through M? Okay, having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Finance, we have two items, A and B. If I can have a motion for finance items A and B.
I'll move.
Thank you, Kristen. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, David. Any discussion?
Just as always, to say thank you very much for all the donations that we get from the public and different organizations, so thank you again.
Thanks, Tom. Okay. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we have our student representative, Amanda.
I just wanted to thank all the junior class officers and their advisors for organizing the prom that happened this past weekend, and for the 4 SAD Club and Mr. Vitale for organizing the post-prom party at the bowling alley.
Thank you, Amanda. Next, we have items from the board. Do any board members have items to see? Kristen?
I do. Thank you. So Sunday, I had the opportunity to attend the OMS Top 50 dinner. That's sponsored by the Sunrise Rotary, and it was at Variety Manor. It honored the top 25 7th graders, and that's academic top 25, and academic top 25 8th graders. It was a very nice event. It's always appreciated that the Rotary does that to honor those kids. It was great seeing so many family members and friends there to support them. In fact, there were so many people supporting the top 50 that you could barely move from table to table or to get to the front to claim your top 50 certificate because it was packed, which was awesome. So that was a great event. I also wanted to shout out the boosters, and I think the specific shout out goes to Peyton Bond, whose brainchild the mental health t-shirts were that went to varsity athletes. I think it's a project she started last year and then continued this year. There was also a softball mental health awareness game last Monday, I think it was. Mental Health Awareness Month. Anybody coming on the campus, they probably saw the signs that Oswego Health has put up. Thank you to Oswego Health as well for reminding everybody. And given everything that happened in the district over the weekend and the fact that it's Mental Health Awareness Month, I know that the message I was giving to my own daughter, who's a high school student, is always say something to somebody. If you ever see someone who's in trouble, say something. If it turns out it's nothing, it turns out it's nothing, but say something. So I hope that everyone is passing along that message as well.
Thank you, Kristen. Any other board members? John?
This may be somewhat of a request, but anticipating that once we get through a couple sectional wins for the girls lacrosse team, in the end of the sports season, we might be getting another recap from Cindy. Within that, I would request, I know tonight we approved extra compensatory money for the weight room this summer, and I'd just like to learn a little bit more about the availability and the program that Mike can offer to our students, and hopefully get that word out there. You know, I mean, that's a big thing. We have this facility, and we have a resource like Trainer Mike that can help kids in the off season with their dedication, and really it's in the off season when you get better. So I'd really like to learn more about that and get that out there to see if we can get the most people involved in that and taking advantage of that program over the summer hours.
Great. Thank you, Sean. Any other board members?
Yeah.
Tom?
I have a couple things. One, just a reminder that the CNY School Boards Association dinner is next Thursday. If anybody still wants to go, I know everybody's busy and it's kind of a tough time of year. But the speaker is Angelique Johnson Dingle, NYSED Deputy Commissioner, and I've seen her speak before, and she's pretty impressive. And it's an opportunity to meet other board members from other districts as well. I will not be honored again. No.
The streak comes to an end.
Thank God. But anyway, that's next Thursday at the Lodge down in Skaneateles. I also had the pleasure to attend the Bookmobile ribbon cutting on Saturday in the weather, which was glorious. It was glorious. It rained like so hard, but it was beautiful, and on a number of levels. It's beautiful because it's a great brand new Bookmobile bus, completely outfitted, and it's wonderful. but also the way it came together and all the participation of all the community members and the different organizations that came together, the donations. It was about $265,000 for it, but it was great, and to see all those people come out from an idea how long it's been, the original bookmobiles that they had years back, and how it's evolved into this, and it will be a great resource for our kids and kids throughout the county this summer. So it was wonderful.
Great, thank you, Tom. So no, he didn't win the Oswego board member 2 years running. It's Oswego County board member, that's what Tom won last year. But Tom, I would like to say, just earned a Level 3 Board Mastery Award from the New York State School Board Association's Board Excellence Recognition Program. This is designed to acknowledge school board members who strive to continually expand their governance knowledge and skills. Congratulations on your Level 3. Yeah. Your official notification.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it comes with a bigger package. Look at that.
Oh, I never got one of these before. Ooh.
Congratulations, Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate all of your hard work on behalf of the board.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Anybody else this evening? We're good? Okay, so there is a need for an executive session for the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation. And I think that's the only reason? Yes. There will not be a need for a vote afterwards. So if I can have a motion to move to executive, please.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Tom. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Sean. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. Have a good evening, everybody.